Hey guys, and welcome to another video. Today I'm going to be doing 10 hours of Solo COX, Chambers of Xeric. We're going to be doing a sort of noob version of it. We're going to be doing like easy raids. We'll probably do the suicide method as well, so when we get into Ulm, we'll probably drop a loaded bruise and get a spec off with the Dragon Warhammer and then go in and kill him. Hopefully we should get a fair few in the 10 hours. It isn't going to be easy. I am not very good at solo Ulm. I've kind of practiced it a little bit. I've probably got about 10 KC on this account, but they never go too well. But we're going to try it out anyway. My gear wise, I'm using not too bad a setup. We have got the Blue Moon for our melee and mage. We got the Nature's Knot face guards. We have got the Blade of Saldor, so that's going to be pretty decent DPS on the melee hand. Same with the Amulet of Rancor, obviously best in slot amulet you could get. We do have the Arania boots, and that's obviously good for all styles. Barrows gloves, Berserker rings, my only decent ring I've got really. We do have obviously the Crystal switch with the Bofa, not too bad, and the Trident of the Swamp. And we do have the big one, the Dragon Warhammer. So this will make it a little bit easier. I think this is a decent sort of inventory to go in with. But yeah, we'll just try and get ourselves some easy raids. I'm also going to not have the timer running while I'm scouting, because obviously I'm just doing this on one account, so it could take a little while. But if you had two accounts, you could be scouting while one's raiding. But yeah, let's jump straight into it. Okay, so this is a pretty easy raid. Metadal, Shamans, Mystics, Guardians, Tightrope, not too bad. So what we're going to do is start the raid and begin the raid. There we go. And we'll start the timer. 10 hours ticking down from now. And yeah, I will see you if anything interesting happens. Well, that hasn't gone well to start off with. Bloody died straight away. Bloody stupid mutadials. And there we go. That is our first completion. That was awful. I died loads of times leading up to it. I was making loads of mistakes. And we didn't die to Ulm, but I did do the suicide method. A fair few supplies left over and loads in my inventory. And our first loot is uncut diamonds and uncut rubies. 218k, not too bad I guess. We're going to stop the timer, and yeah, that was a really bad one. That was like 52-minute raid. Yeah, really not the best, but yeah, we'll hopefully speed this up, get a little bit faster, and start getting some better drops as well, hopefully. Begin the raid, enter, and start the timer. And yeah, I'll see you again in, hopefully when something interesting happens, or if I die or live or whatever. But I'll see you in a bit. And there we go, another one done. Unfortunately, white chest, and that means we are getting nothing really. What have we got? Soul runes, death runes. That's not too bad. 662k worth of runes. I mean, I will take that. Unfortunately, it was a horribly slow raid. That was an awful man. Also, the crabs. I don't know what I was doing, but I just kept messing up. I literally spent about 10 minutes doing the crab room. So, yeah, a little bit gutting. Timer stopped. But, yeah, let's gear up and do it again. Okay, so hopefully we have a better raid this time. We're going to start the timer. And let's make our way through. Hopefully it goes a little bit smoother. Hopefully we end up with some more points. And yeah, I mean, it wasn't too bad. It was just really long. Looks like, so to be, for some reason, I always use this bloody newbie crab solver, and it wasn't working in the last one. So that's why it took me so long. And it was a real weird spawn as well, which I don't think I've ever done before. But yeah, hopefully this goes a little bit better. And there we go. That is another Ulm down. Another white chest, unfortunately. And grimy toad flax and pure essence. That is a suckish one if you've ever seen it before. But yeah, we'll stop the timer. That was a 51-minute raid. Not the best. I completely fucked up because I ran out of brews right near the end of the actual. I had to go all the way back to the very start to a farming bit just so I could make myself some brews, just so I could finish the tightrope. So yeah, not the best one, but we've still got 7 hours 18 minutes, so hopefully we start speeding up a little bit. I do quite well for a little bit, and then I kind of fall out of the swing of things and completely fuck it up, but we are slowly improving. Okay, so we have ourselves another raid. It's a little bit of a shorter one, so hopefully we still get some decent points. But it does mean we haven't got Guardian, so we don't have to bring the pickaxe, which is pretty cool. And
It's a pretty easy puzzle rooms as well. I shouldn't really take much damage. So yeah, I mean, overall, not too bad a raid. Let's jump into this, and then we'll also start the timer. So jump in, and timer has started. And yeah, let's do another raid. So what I've been doing, obviously, because I'm still learning and I do make a lot of mistakes during the ulm, is I suicide. So basically I just come in with like a full inventory of brews and a couple restores. I get a spec off, or 2 specs if I don't hit the first one on the ulm hand, and then wait to die. Once I die, all the supplies drop in there, and basically I have plenty of supplies so I don't die again and don't have any stupid deaths. It does drop our points by a little bit, but to be honest, we still end up with pretty decent points after that. Then I just obviously prep ready for the raid, and then yeah, it makes it just a lot easier, and it's very noob friendly, and basically you can just brute force your way through it. Yeah, and there we go. That is another raid done. Yeah, not too bad. I mean, I still had 11 xeric aids on the floor, plus a couple revitalizations, and I have a few in my inventory as well. But that was pretty smooth. That's probably my smoothest one so far, and that's actually probably my personal best solo. It is 41 minutes. That is a pretty decent time. Yeah, not too bad. I'm actually quite happy with that. Unfortunately, it's a white chest. What do we get? Oh, a dark relic and Avento. That's a pretty poor chest, but we will take it nonetheless, and I will take the dark relic. And obviously, all of my XP is now going into agility, and that actually might be another level. There we go. 81 agility coming in on the Ironman, and not too bad. I will definitely take that. But yeah, we've still got 6 hours, 36 minutes left. So yeah, obviously that was a much shorter raid. I did mess up a little bit with my gathering supplies and stuff, but 41 minutes for a raid, not too bad. And I think I had about 28k points as well. So that's probably a 3.2% chance at a drop, which is actually, it's not too bad. And straight away we've got another raid. This is a little bit of a bigger one. We've got the full shebang this time, so we're going to have to take the pickaxe again. Let's jump straight in. And that is another ulm down. Another white light, unfortunately. What was the time on that? 44 minutes. That's not too bad for a slightly longer raid. We're going to pause the timer, and we had even more brews left over this time, so we're definitely getting smoother and smoother at it. I think I'm definitely improving. I'm even starting to not just brute force in the melee hands. I'm actually sort of 4-to-1 in it slightly, and then every now and again just messing up. So I'm definitely getting a lot better. That last phase, though, the head phase, I mess up quite a bit. This one we're getting toe flax seeds, uncut sapphires. My loot is worth around about 39k. That is horrendous, but the raids are definitely speeding up and getting a lot smoother, a lot faster, and yeah, you love to see it. Hopefully this continues. Let's collect my rewards, I guess. But yeah, we're definitely getting better, and hopefully we see a purple in the near future. And we've got ourselves another decent looking raid, so we'll just jump straight into this, start the raid, begin the raid, in we go. Let's start the timer, let's whack out another one. We're pretty much, after this one, we should be at the halfway point, so yeah, that's pretty cool. And that is another raid done. That was my smoothest by far. I had, plenty of brews left over and a few in my inventory. To be honest, I made quite a few mistakes on the head phase, but up to then, that was super smooth. We're going to stop the timer. We're now at the 5-hour point, so halfway there. Unfortunately, another white chest, but that's actually some decent money. 463k. We're always getting around about that 28k point, so always around about a 3% chance. Yeah, most of the money's in those dwarf weeds, to be fair, but we will take all of that. We'll have a little look at the loot tracker. So we're 5 hours in now, and we're up to 1.75 mil. Which isn't too bad. Obviously, most of the money comes from those uniques. Like, if you ever hit any of the uniques in COX, they're insane money. Now, we'll have a little look at the supply tracker. So we've used 613k in supplies, but obviously we're making more profit than we're using, so that is a massive bonus. As for that, we're also getting a few bit of XP. We're getting a bunch of XP in Herb Lore, obviously. So yeah, I mean, I'm pretty happy. We're slowly getting through those raids, and hopefully we see a purple. I mean, the chances, the points aren't massive, so there's not a huge chance, but when we do hit one of those purples, it's going to be amazing. Okay, so we have found ourselves another raid. A little bit of a long one, and it's with the Mutadolls and Tightrope at the end, so it could be a little bit clutch. But hopefully it's not too bad. And there's also an unknown puzzle, so if that's another really combat heavy one, this could be quite a hard raid. But let's just begin the raid, jump in, and let's see what that mystery puzzle room is. And that is Cryo No More. I done that. We did have Bloody Ice Demon, so yeah, another combat one, so love to see it. Makes it just a little bit harder. And there we go. That is another Chambers of Xeric done. That's my kill count 23 now, so yeah, I've coming close to the combat achievement at 25, which is pretty cool. Let's stop the timer. So that was a 45-minute raid, and that was a long one as well. So to be honest, we are definitely sped them up quite a bit. 28k points as well, not too bad. That's probably about a 3% chance of a drop, but unfortunately it's a white chest, so nothing fancy. Still 550k, that's probably mainly in the teak planks, because I don't think the dynamite's worth anything. Oh, to be fair, actually, the dynamite's worth 302k. That's way more than I was expecting, but yeah, I will definitely take that. Okay, so we have ourselves a new raid, but this one hasn't got Mutadolls. It's the first one I've done that hasn't had Mutadolls, and I do have the Herb Lore to make my own overloads, but I'm not sure how much more time that's actually going to add, but hopefully not too long. But we'll jump into this raid. Oh my god, that was my worst raid I think I've ever done. Almost an hour. Awful points as well, 26,000. I actually ended up not killing the hands together, so I completely messed up. And then I ended up killing both hands, so yeah, they both regened, and oh, absolute awful. We're going to do the old slow walk up to the chest. I think this is the way to the chest. I'm definitely going one way anyway. Unfortunately, it's a white light. Sad game. Are we going to get anything decent in there, though? Ooh, that is a lot of Ranas and a few toe flax. Not too bad. What's that, about 330 odd K? I will take them, but 24 KC now. One more until we get a combat achievement, so that's pretty cool. That's fun to look forward to. But yeah, that was savage. The lead up to it was awful. The bloody raid was awful. Just the whole raid in general is awful. But we've still got 3 hours, 28 minutes left. We definitely got enough time for 3, maybe 4. So we might get up to about 28 KC. And who knows, we might get lucky. We might finally see that purple chest. But to be honest, I mean, chances are probably not. We're sort of aiming to get lucky, to be honest. And that is a combat achievement. Timer's not actually running because I was just practicing Tecton. And there we go, blind spot combat achievement, not too bad. Okay, so we have ourselves another raid. This one is crabs. I'm not sure what the unknown puzzle is, but then we got Mutadolls, Guardians, and Vespula. Now, this should be okay. I did practice a Vespula just before this, so hopefully it should be fine. But we're going to get some gear ready. And obviously we don't actually need the salve amulet, so we might as well bank for that. And then we're just going to get out a bunch of stuff. But hopefully this raid goes alright. I'm a little bit worried about Vespula because I haven't done that many of it. But we'll just try it and see how it goes, really. And that is a Chambers of Xeric veteran done. 25 KC, another raid done. Let's stop the timer. Not too bad, 46 minutes. We didn't die to Vespula, so that's always a bonus. And I did see that I did get the collection log. A Torn Prayer Scroll. Oh, and Lizardman Fangs. I will actually take that because I do want to mount the Xeric's Talisman or whatever it's called. So I'm actually really happy with that. It's a bit of a shit one for cash, but we will take the Torn Prayer Scroll as well. So let's read that and learn Preserve. So there we go. We now have everything but Augury. So that is very, very nice. Let's get out of here and try and find ourselves another raid. So we have got ourselves another raid. Mutadolls, Tightrope, Shamans, Mystics, Ice Demon. This is pretty good. I reckon this should be relatively fast. So let's start the raid, begin the raid,
getting on in there, and we'll start the timer, and I'll see you in a bit. Happy days. That's kill 26, and still white light, and grimy toadstools. Oh, they're not worth anything anymore, but a bunch of soul runes. So that's actually not too bad. That's a total loot of, what, 700k? I will definitely take that. The soul runes are very, very nice. And what was the time on that? Let's pause the timer a sec. So 44 minutes, that was actually pretty fast. And we still have 2 hours left, so we can easily get another at least 3 done. So yeah, not too bad at all. And we have ourselves another raid. Mutadal, Shamans, Tightrope, Mystics, Guardians, and then finishing on Crabs. But it's also got a farm room just before the combat one, so that means I can chuck some of my supplies in and make sure I pick up everything at Mutadal. So yeah, not too bad. We're going to start the raid, begin raid, jump in. And yeah, we'll start the timer and let's get this done. Oh, and there's a push boulder as well, so a few extra points there. Lovely. And that is another Olm done, and let's have a little stroll up. Not too bad, 46 minutes, stop the timer. We still have an hour left, so there's probably only one more raid left. 46 minutes though, not too bad. And what do we get this time? Ooh, dragon arrows. I will definitely take them. I do love my dragon arrows, and my collection is very low, so that is very good. So that's another 500 odd K. To be honest, the chest ain't that bad. And they're definitely more than covering the supplies. But yeah, we have one more raid and then we'll do our final price check. And we have ourselves our last raid scouted. So Mutadals, Unknown Puzzle, Shamans, Mystic, Crabs, Guardians, pretty much the full works, the full shebang. Let's jump into the raid and let's get this last one done. An hour and 9 minutes left. I mean, we could maybe point boost and get some more points in Guardians, but to be honest, I don't think it's really worth it. We're going to start the timer. Let's start running this raid, and hopefully this runs smoothly and we get some decent points and finally see that purple drop. That would be very, very nice. Pretty low percentage chances of it happening still, but you never know. Fingers crossed. Such a shit death. Oh, that is a pain in the ass. I had so much food, but I just got stacked out. That's the first death of the whole raid, which is rather annoying, but nonetheless we can jump back in now. I do have a bunch of supplies. I also have some stuff here, so let's pick up my extra overload I had. Revitalization, prayer enhance, should be enough. I do have all my supplies. I have like crazy amount of supplies in there as well, just so annoying, but we'll re-overload. Hopefully the points haven't suffered too much, but what a shit one to end it on as well. As you can see, I kind of dragged this out a little bit and point boosted, all for 2 bloody deaths. So yeah, a little bit of a pain in the ass, but what can you do? No! Oh, this is so disastrous. Oh, I just killed both hands, literally seconds away. Oh, that is devastating. We're literally going to have to do this whole phase again. Oh, that is disastrous. Oh well, what can you do? Oh, this has been literally the most scuffed raid ever. And the final one as well. Sucks. Very, very sucks. But do we get rewarded? Do we spoon ourselves one on the most scuffed raid ever? Let's walk up. Do we see a purple light? No. Sad game. What do we get though? Grimy Toadstools, Avanto. I don't think that's very good. Yeah, about 200k. Not great at all, but we're going to stop the timer. No way we're going to be doing another one in 8 minutes. I probably could, if I really rushed it, I might have been able to get 2 in that final one, but I thought I'd stretch out the points, but only getting 19k points was not what I expected. That is my first Olm death. Obviously I suicide every time, so I've got plenty of supplies, and I had plenty of supplies, but yeah, I don't usually get stacked out like that. I just really, really messed up and wasn't paying attention. But nonetheless, we have finished. We actually ended up doing 12 raids in the 10 hours. So, not the best. I had a few really bad ones, like that was really long. How long was that? Okay, so that one was over an hour alone, so yeah, savagely crap. So, as we can see by the loot tracker, we have completed 12 Chambers of Xeric in the 10 hours at 4.15 mil. Now, if we have a little look at the supply usage, we only use 1.25 mil, in supplies, so not too bad. Chambers of xeric is quite self-efficient. I mean, if you wanted to slow it down a bit, you could do all the farming and you wouldn't even have to use most of these brews, which is where a majority of the money's coming from. You are going to have to use the stamina potions if you're doing solos. Again, you could get away and make your own overloads to start off with, so you might not even need to use your combats and your ranging potions, but it is definitely going to drag out the raid. If we work out the profit, that comes to a total profit over the 10 hours of 2.9 mil, which per hour comes to an hourly profit of 290k profit per hour, which is, it's naff. It's definitely not the best, but you are relying on getting one of those uniques. Each raid I was doing was getting around about 28k points, which is around about a 3 to 3.5% chance chests. So if I was to carry this on and get those drops, with my sort of points I was getting, on average I would have been making around about 3.8 mil per hour. Now that is pretty decent. Obviously that's not profit. We do use a fair few supplies, but if you minus out the supplies we were using per hour, you're still looking at around about 3.5 mil per hour, and obviously when you're doing solo, you haven't got to split the loot, which is pretty decent. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, or forever go dry at Cox. And as always, I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.